for Friday, the 14th of July. I'm Stephen Ridgway. Cisco SD-WAN vManage is impacted by an unauthenticated REST API access vulnerability. Basically, SD-WAN, Cisco SD-WAN vManage allows you to manage Cisco-based software-defined networks. SD-WAN is much more common than it used to be. Again, you have to be careful when securing these things. You've got to be very careful about how it's all put together and how it's managed. This particular vulnerability allows attackers to read from the SD-WAN vManage systems and gives them limited write abilities as well. So you can monitor log attempts, you can monitor access attempts in the logs. Brain and tongue not quite in the right order at the moment. It will show you in the logs when people have been, or if attackers have been trying to access the API. There's the indicators are in the article from Bleeping Computer, which we'll link to this briefing. Fixes are available. The vulnerability, by the way, is CVE 2023-20214, and you are basically aiming to get to, well, there's quite a lot of different versions, depending on whether you're on 20.6 point whatever or point this, that, or the other. There's quite a few to have a look at there. So bear in mind versions 20.7 and 20.8 are impacted by this, but there won't be any fixes released for those. So Cisco are recommending that if you are on either of those versions, you should migrate to a different release, different version. So watch out for that one if you're using Cisco SD-WAN vManage. Zimbra has released updates to address zero-day vulnerability, which is actively being exploited. Attacks aimed at Zimbra Collaboration Suite, otherwise known as ZCS email servers. Zimbra are recommending that the vulnerability, which is found in version 8.8.15, be patched ASAP. It is relatively straightforward to do. So it is not the first time that there's been an issue with Zimbra, but it does look like they're on top of these things and are working towards getting them fixed ASAP. So if you are not on the latest version of Zimbra Collaboration Suite, then yes, please look to update. And I personally have never come across Zimbra, actually not come across it live, but it is used in 200,000 businesses in 140 countries. So there's presumably a lot of this stuff out there, which is then there are also instructions rather on how to manually apply a fix or a workaround to this particular issue, which are in the article from Security Affairs, which we will link to this briefing. Something to be aware of: Threads. So Threads being the new competitor to Twitter, I think, isn't it? Excuse me. Twitter. There is no official app on the European Apple App Store yet, because Apple is still working through with the developers around ensuring that the apps meet privacy requirements. However, in the meantime, there are fake Threads apps, and one of them One of them has actually climbed to number one in the Apple Store in Europe. So beware if you're in Europe and you have downloaded a Threads app, it is not a legitimate one. It is developed by developers called Social Kit Limited, and it is not the first time that they have made fake versions of apps. They have previously had ChatGPT apps, AI face editors, background erasers, and various other bits and pieces. So Fake Threads app, particularly popular at the moment in Germany, Netherlands, and Switzerland. However, up until Apple pulled it, was available to other European countries. So if you have downloaded that, it is not a genuine app. Would recommend that you get rid of it and wait until the real app actually appears, because whilst I'm not aware of what this fake app does that it shouldn't be doing, it will undoubtedly be doing something it shouldn't be doing. So yeah, and that is all from me for today. Hope you all have a really good weekend, and I will speak to you again on Monday morning.